Hey friend, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited that you're hanging out with me on today's episode. Now, we've been talking all things email list, freebie, email sequence. In today's episode, I will walk you through how to create a freebie using my P.C.L formula. P.C.L stands for plan, create, and launch. At the end of this episode, you have the steps you need to plan, create, and launch your freebie. Are you excited as I am? Yes. Let's dive into today's episode. Grab that cup of coffee or your favorite drink and let's take our notes. Grab that cup of coffee or your favorite drinks and your notepad and let's dive into today's episode. Are you ready to streamline your focus and get clarity to start your online service-based business? Are you tired of struggling with lack of clarity, self-doubt, and the fear of being a public failure? Do you wish you had a clear plan you could follow to make your calling a reality? Hey friend, you don't have to stay stuck any longer. With a renewed mindset and a clear plan, you can start a business that fulfills your calling and makes a profit. I'm your host, Chichi Ukomado, a Christian business coach, Jesus follower, and a 7-figure service-based entrepreneur. In this podcast, I'll teach you how to streamline your focus, get clarity on your business idea, create your business launch plan, set up your business essentials, and launch your sustainable and profitable business from scratch. You will get tons of encouragement, godly wisdom, and accountability to grow in your faith and new business journey. It's time to partner with God and take your first step to start that business. You know the one I'm talking about? Yes, that one you've been putting off for a long time. In episode 67, I introduced my P.C.L formula to you, but maybe you might be hearing it for the first time. P.C.L stands for plan, create, and launch. It's a unique creation formula that the Holy Spirit gave me, and I have been using it to create so many things. I'm going to give you an audio walkthrough on how to create a freebie using my P.C.L formula. So we'll start with the first one, which is the P, which stands for plan. So when you want to create a freebie, the first step you need to take is to plan. So what are you planning? What do you need to plan in this step one? So in this planning stage, you are deciding and defining certain components or the different components of your freebie. Here are some of the questions that can help you in this step of planning your freebie. The first question is, what type of freebie are you creating? In episode 72, I spoke about the 5 types of freebie you can create. You can go back and listen to that episode and decide which kind of freebie you are going to create. After you've made the decision, the next question you need to answer in the planning step is, what format is my freebie going to be? Is it going to be a written format? Is it going to be audio format? Is it going to be video format? So you need to decide what format your freebie is going to be. And this is done in the planning stage, even before you create any content. Now, the third question you need to answer in this planning stage is, what application are you going to use to create your freebie? Once you've decided what format is going to be in, then you can choose the app you can use to create the freebie. So let's say, for instance, you decide that your freebie is going to be a PDF or written content. Then you can use Canva to create the freebie. If you decide that your freebie will be an audio or video format, you can use an app called loom.com. It's great for recording audio and video, even sharing your screen and doing screen recording. So you see how these questions follow each other. So deciding the type of freebie, you're going to create, deciding what format is going to be. Then you determine what application you're going to use to create your freebie. These are the questions that will help you in step 1 to plan your freebie. The second step you need to take in creating your freebie is the C, which is to create your freebie. That is step 2. Step 2 is create your freebie. The thing you need to do when you're creating your freebie is to start with creating your outline. So having your outline created first will guide the entire process of creating the freebie. So that's the first thing you need to do in this step 2, which is to create your freebie. So start by creating your outline. In your outline, you want to have a captivating title. Then you want to outline the main content of what you are going to deliver to your customer, the main valuable content. So you want to jot it down. What are the things you want to create in your freebie? Then after you've done that, still part of your outline, you want to list what are the next action steps that you need your potential customer to take, or what offer are you going to sell to them in this freebie you are creating. Then the fourth thing you need to have in your outline is your contact details. So create your outline first. Once you've created your outline, then you can now follow your outline and use it to create your freebie on the app that you chose to use to create your freebie. So you can use Google Docs to create your outline. It's a good word processor that you can just type in the things. You can create your outline on a piece of paper or a notepad or a notebook. Then you can now go to the app that you've selected and start creating the actual stuff. Another thing that can help you create your freebie faster is to purchase a template, a freebie template. Depending on the format that your freebie is going to be in. If your freebie is a PDF, you can purchase a PDF template that you can edit, and it can help you create your freebie faster. So Canva has a lot of templates. There's another site called creativemarket.com. Creative Market has tons of freebie templates that you can purchase and you can edit to create your freebie. So you definitely want to explore that using a template will make the process faster. The next thing you want to create after you've created your outline, after you've created the freebie, is to create your email list in your email list provider application or website. So, of course, you should have signed up to an email list provider before you can create your email list. So once you do that, once you've created your email list and you've given it a name, the next thing you need to create is your email opt-in form. Now, your opt-in form is where the exchange happens. That is the form that your potential customer will fill to give you their information. So you can include things like their first name and email address. Those two things are the most critical things you need. I find that the shorter the opt-in form, the easier it is for a potential customer to fill. Please don't ask for 10 pieces of information. All you need is just the first name and their email, and that's it. In some cases, all you need is just their email, but try to stay between email and first name and email. Don't go beyond asking for those two things if you want people to be able to sign up quickly and move along to the freebie quickly. Okay, after you've created your opt-in form, the next thing you need to create is your email sequence. Now, before you get to your email sequence, I want to piggyback to the email opt-in form. Now, there are several ways you can create the email opt-in form depending on the email list provider you're using. You can create your opt-in form as a standalone form, or you can create it as a pop-up so that when they come to your website, the opt-in form will just pop in their face. You can also embed your opt-in form into your website. Now, my recommendation will be to create a standalone version of your opt-in form and either a pop-up or the option to embed. And the reason I recommend the standalone option is depending on the email list provider you have, when you have a standalone opt-in form, you get a link that you can include in your social media bio, you can include in so many other places, so that even if your potential customer never gets to your website, they can still access your freebie or your lead generation PDF. So that's why I like to do the standalone version and also have either a pop-up or the option where you embed the opt-in form into your website. So once you're done creating the email list, creating your email sequence is next thing. What is an email sequence? An email sequence is simply the series of emails that go out after the potential customer fills your opt-in form. So you want to create those emails ahead of time and schedule them in your email list provider app. They give you the feature to be able to do that. So the first email in your sequence should be the email that delivers your freebie, because you want to keep to your word. Once your potential customer gives you their email, you want to give them the freebie right away. So that should be the first email in your email sequence. Then you can send subsequent emails in spaced out in some days or weeks, so that your potential customer doesn't get overwhelmed, so you can start nurturing this new relationship that you have just established. So once you're done creating your email sequence, you are done with step 2, which is to create your freebie. So you notice that you're not just creating your freebie, you're also creating other things that go along with having the freebie. The third step you need to take to create your freebie is step 3, which is the L, and that stands for launch. So launch your freebie is the third step. So you took step 1, which is to plan your freebie. Step 2, create your freebie. Now it's time to launch your freebie. Now, how do you launch your freebie? Once you're done creating your freebie, creating your email list, your opt-in form, your email sequence, you're doing all these things in your email list provider application. Once you're done and you have published your email sequence in your email list provider, now you're ready to launch your freebie. Some of the things you can do to launch your freebie is 1, if you created a standalone opt-in form for your freebie, then you can copy the link that your email list provider provides to you, and you can put it on your social media bio, you can put it on your website, you can put it in your email signature. Everywhere that you can put a link, you can throw in that link to the opt-in form that connects to your freebie. So that is how you launch your freebie. Another thing you can do is, if you have a blog or a podcast or a YouTube channel, you can mention or promote your freebie on your channel. So just the way I do when I'm talking to you on this podcast, I tell you about my business clarity blueprint, which is a freebie I created that you can download when you go to startthatbusinesspodcast.com. That's the same way you will promote your freebie on your own marketing platform. So it can be on your blog, on your podcast, on your YouTube channel. So wherever you already have an existing audience, you want to tell them that you created this freebie that can change their life or solve a problem for them. You can also add the link to your freebie to your blog post, to your podcast description, to your YouTube video descriptions. So these are the ways that you can launch your freebie to the world, so that your potential customers know that you have something valuable that you can give them in exchange for their contact details. All right, let's recap real quick how to create a freebie using my P.C.L formula. So the step one is the P, which is to plan your freebie. The second is create your freebie. And the third is launch your freebie. One of the most effective ways to put word out there or to attract potential customers to the amazing services and offers you have created for them is to establish a relationship or a channel where you can communicate with them beyond a transaction. And the way to do that is to create a freebie. I hope that you have learned how to do it from the details in this episode, and I pray that the Holy Spirit will help you take the action you need to go and create that freebie, something that is valuable, something that you can use to exchange that contact detail so that you can start building and nurturing that relationship with potential customers so that you can serve them by selling to them. I would love it if you could leave a review for this podcast on Apple Podcast or the podcast app you're using to listen. This is the number one way I know you are getting value from the content on this podcast. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I hope you learned something new and you were encouraged to take action. If so, will you stop right now and share this episode with someone so they can get the help you just got? I would also love it if you can leave a review for this podcast on Apple Podcast or the podcast app you're using to listen. This is the number one way I know you're getting value from the content on this podcast. Until next time, always remember you have all you need to start that business. So keep listening for more episodes. I'll meet you here next week.